thank you very much. Thank you for doing it.
You're welcome.
Detective Belknap, do you see 30W now, or you may have had it the whole time?
I did, and I do.
Okay. March 18, 2019, remember this tweet on Mr. Williams' Twitter?
Yes, sir.
And you talked about you ends keep slat in your mouth, but still ain't downed none, right?
Yes.
Are you aware of a song that is a lyric from?
I'm not, but I wouldn't dispute that it's a song lyric.
Let's go to, and there's, you said you have 31W?
I did.
Could you show that one? This has several, so, actually it has one, so. By the way, while that's coming up, do you remember it said, and you talked about it earlier, but it said, Little Rod, remember that in a tweet, maybe 2 tweets ago?
I do.
Is it the same answer you gave the other day? It's not the gentleman who's sitting in the courtroom, to your knowledge?
No, same answer as the other day. I don't believe this is related to Mr. Ryan.
Okay. This is 31W, July 1, 2012. You remember discussing that one yesterday with me, or maybe the day before? This would stop the violence campaign. Do you remember all that?
I do.
Okay, so we've discussed that. Fair to say?
Yes.
All right. And that was in, what city was that? Do you remember?
Chattanooga.
That's right. Okay. And that, just for the record, Your Honor, was Mr. Williams number 43 earlier admitted. This is number 32W. And there are several, so if it's okay with you, we'll just take the top one first, okay?
Yes, sir.
That's Mr. Williams' Twitter account, July 24, 2012, right?
It is.
And you identified this and assisted to have it admitted. When I say that, I mean you testified about it.
I did.
Okay. And 32W, the top one, you remember talking about, if you did talk about, if you all, and then I'm just F you with a 5 blank IN with Thugger, go follow my right hand man with a Z at the end of it at Cartel DK, right?
Yes.
And we've already discussed the fact that at Cartel DK is gentleman you know to be Mr. Walter Murphy, or at least purported to be Mr. Walter Murphy's handle. Is that fair to say?
That is.
And you know now, I guess, if you didn't know before, you're aware that Mr. Murphy, or the handle Cartel _ DK, promotes music for Mr. Williams.
It does appear at times that he does.
Now, the next one, which is the middle of 32W, you see that with a different date, and that would be June 9, 2012. You see that?
I do.
And again, it's similar, but everybody go follow my bloody brother on Instagram at Cartel _ DK right now, RT, right?
Yes.
I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams, number 64, dated today. Do you see that?
I do.
And do you recognize the young slime life _ Desi at Cartel _ DK as a social media posting platform?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Do you understand it as a social media platform?
A social media account?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And that would be the same account you've been testifying to a couple of times at Cartel _ DK, Mr. Murphy. Fair to say?
Yes.
All right. And that is dated June 9th, 2012?
It is.
And is that the same date as the middle tweet that you talked about on State's Exhibit number 32W?
Yes, it is.
do you have any reason to believe that that is not accurate on the @cartel_DK tweet?
I do not.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 64, dated today.
You're talking about the middle
Yes, sir.
on
Yeah.
page 32 double whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Any objection to defending exhibit 64?
Same objection, Your Honor.
I'll note it in our rules, in the policies you see there. I'll be defending 64.
Are you able to see that, Detective Belknap, on the top of Mr. Williams number 64?
I am.
And on the bottom, we just put the same tweet that came out from your middle of, not yours, but the state's exhibit 32W middle. Fair to say?
It is.
All right. Same date then, June 9, 2012 for both?
Same date.
And with Mr. Williams on the lower part of Mr. Williams number 64, asked everybody to go follow my bloody brother on Instagram @cartel_DK right now, RT. On that same date, is it fair to say that @carteldk had their hashtag Thugger Pendants Day, July 4th, hashtag I came from nothing 3 black, exclamation point. Fair to say?
It is.
That promotes music?
And also with a promotion of the gang at the end.
Okay, in case you missed, excuse me, I came from nothing 3, is that a mixtape? If you know.
It is.
All right. Great. Did you know this when you testified before the jury about the middle section of State's Exhibit number 32? Were you aware that if you just jumped over to cartel_DK, you would have found that?
No, I did not review that tweet at the time.
All right. Let's look at the bottom portion of 32W of the State's Exhibit. Tell me when you're ready.
Which exhibit did you say?
32W bottom.
I have it.
Okay. And do you remember the June, now it's June 22, 2012, Mr. Williams' Twitter account, follow but it's DA bro at the same thing, @cartel_DK right now, has 3 exclamation points. Do you remember that?
Yes.
All right. And did you go and jump site over to the @cartel_DK to see what's being promoted?
I did not.
All right. I'd like you to look at, if you don't mind, Mr. Williams number 65 dating today.
I have it.
And do you recognize the top portion of that being the account for @cartel_DK?
Yes.
And is it the same date as what is in the bottom of State's Exhibit number 32W we just discussed, and it's on the screen?
Yes.
And do you have any reason to believe that this is not accurate, what was on @cartel_DK social media account on the same date that is being referenced on State's Exhibit number 32W bottom?
I do not.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 65 dated today.
Okay, any objection to defendant 165?
Yes, Your Honor, here's that.
I don't know the objection. Policies you see there.
All right, Detective, just to put this in context, On the bottom is the bottom tweet that you identified earlier. It's now memorialized as State's Exhibit number 32W. Is that correct?
It is.
All right. Then I'd like to focus understanding the bottom one on the top one. And that, again, is the same social media account we've been calling Mr. Walter Murphy at @cartel_DK. Fair to say?
Yes.
And it's the same date, June 22, 2012, that Mr. Williams, on the bottom part of Mr. Williams number 65, dated today, is asking people to go follow at @cartel_DK, correct?
Yes.
And then it is written under Mr. Murphy's or at @cartel_DK's social media account at thugworld hashtag ICFN3, then hashtag Thugger Pendants, and then new word day, exclamation point, July 4th with an exclamation point, live mixtape, at live mixtapes, at Swampizo, at ARCHR event, and then YFROG.com. You see that?
Yeah.
And then there's a couple more I left out, but there's a backslash there. Did you know about this? Did you ever bother to go? And I don't mean that to be rude. Did you ever go? Take out the word bother. Did you ever go when talking about and analyzing State's Exhibit 32W on the bottom to go see what was posted on at @cartel_DK on the same day?
No, sir.
Okay. I'd like to go to State's Exhibit number 33. Which is already in evidence.
Mr. Steve, before you call for another question, ladies and gentlemen.
Time for break. About 15 minutes? Okay, all right. We're going to recess about 15 minutes. So, all rise. All right, jury's left us. We'll be in recess 15 minutes. All right, so I need to have everybody back, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, if you would take your seats. Okay, we'll go ahead and summon our jurors, please.
ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you kind of a roadmap for the rest of the afternoon. We're going to probably go about another hour, and then we will recess. And before we recess for the day, I'll give you all instructions about the next several days, and I'll fill you in on that. Let you ask some other questions of me. Okay? All right. So, Mr. Steele.
I believe that we were approaching number 33W next tweet. Thank you, sir. Okay, and do you remember, Detective, this tweet that you helped to introduce earlier in your testimony?
I do.
All right, and we are talking about September 15, 2012 at cartel_DK, and I Rolacking, and then it goes to an Instagram site. Is that fair to say?
It is.
Did you ever go to that Instagram site?
Not in preparation for this, and I haven't seen what this links to, so I don't know if I've ever seen the post or not.
Okay. All right. Do you know if it had anything to do with Jeffrey's music, or you just don't know?
I don't know.
All right. Number 34W. If you can look at that one, if you don't mind. And that has several on the page, but if you go to the very top, if that's okay.
I'm there.
Okay. And you remember this? I'm in love with SM, and we're having a baby. Remember that?
I do.
And I think we already discussed this. Is that fair to say?
I believe we did, yes.
And you know that now to be a song, right?
I believe that it is, yes.
And it's Against Me. The song Bloody J, Ola Player. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at Mr. Williams, number 66, if you don't mind.
Yes.
And is that, do you see the State's Exhibit number 34W at the top in Mr. Williams, number 66?
I do.
And then do you see also Mr. Williams' Twitter account on the same day, the post right before, which you identify as State's Exhibit number 34 at the top?
I'm sorry, I lost the question.
Okay. Underneath the tweet that you identified, which is now memorialized, as State's Exhibit number 34W, you see a tweet below that?
I do.
Okay. And that's still on Mr. Williams' Twitter account, fair to say?
Yes.
Same date?
It is.
And do you have any reason to believe that that is not accurate in the Twitter account?
I do not.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams' number 66 of today's date. State's 34, please. Thank you. All right, thank you, State. All right, objection, State's, any objection to defendant name 66?
I object, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to admit over objection, and it may be published as you see fit. So defendant Williams 66.
Do Do you see it, Mr. Williams, number 66 at the top? That's simply the tweet that you were talking about earlier that's now memorialized in State's Exhibit number 34W top. Fair to say?
I do.
And then the tweet immediately before that is same date, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Williams' Twitter account, right?
Correct.
And it's Young Thug, I'm going to say Times, Player, Times, Bloody J hyphen, Against Me Productions, or PROD, period, at Ferrari Smash, colon, and then a YouTube site. Fair to say?
It is.
Okay. And Against Me, you've already identified, you know that to be a song, right?
Yes.
And in that song, and we could play it, but in that song, it has the words that's then immediately above it, I'm in love with SMM, we having a baby. Do you know that? And if not, that's fine.
I don't know that and I have no reason to dispute it.
All right. Your Honor, I move to admit for purposes of playing just a small section, the song Against Me. To help put in context the tweet, I'm in love with SMM, we having a baby. And mark it, Mr. Williams, number 66A.
All right, any objection to Defendant Williams 66A?
Yes, Your Honor, the witness did not say he didn't know the song or that he doesn't believe that the lyrics are in the song. There's
Yeah,
a relevance in playing with the song.
I'll sustain the state's objections to that one.
Okay. All right, let's go back to 34W, if that's okay. But we're going to look at the second tweet when it's available. And I believe it's something we already discussed, but just make sure that that's correct. See the second one, it's April 22, 2012.
Yes, sir.
And does that look familiar, what we already discussed?
It does.
Okay, so I am going to move on. If it's any different, please let me know. Let's look at the third tweet, and that's on State's Exhibit number 34W. You see it's August 27, 2012.
Yes, sir.
All right, and this one is R05, or, you know, instead of a C, I guess, and then crew, but with a K / SMM. They riding for Thugger, hashtag Blatt, right?
Yes.
And I believe we discussed this one previously. Is that fair to say?
I believe so.
Okay. Let's go to the next one on State's Exhibit 34W, and this will be the bottom. And this says, follow my dog, SMM _ all star, but with a 5, hashtag Blatt, August 5, 2012, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And were you aware, did you ever do any follow? Did you ever go to that site? Did you do any contact check?
I didn't understand the question.
Did you go and look when you were asked to talk about that tweet on August 5, 2012? Did you ever go and look to see whether SMM _ all star, but with a 5-pound Blatt, promoted Mr. Williams' music? Do you know that?
I did not go and look at promotion for his music.
All right. Okay, let's go to, if you don't mind, 35W. Do you see State's Exhibit with the date of the tweet, January 31, 2013?
I do.
And I think we discussed this, although I'm not 100% sure. Salute to all my slimes, all my bloods, all the thugs with 3 exclamation points. Did we discuss that already?
You'll forgive me, I don't recall.
Okay, I don't either. I may be wrong. Okay. I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams' number 68. Do you see that?
I do.
And do you see in Mr. Williams number 68 the same Twitter account of Mr. Williams with the 5 different tweets?
Yes, sir.
And are they ranging from the date of January 31, 2013 through February 1, 2013?
Yes.
And do they, do you have any reason to believe that they are not the tweets that surround or the tweet that you have discussed and is now memorialized in State's Exhibit number 35W?
I do not.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 68, dated today.
Your Honor, objection, improper foundation, and the same other objections as.
Exhibit number 30, defendant Williams, 68 have 6 tweets? 5 tweets?
5, Your Honor.
5.
I'll come on up, please.
Yes, Your Honor. For the record, Your Honor, I'm going to withdraw number 68, Mr. Williams, dated today. I'd like to ask you a question about State's Exhibit number 35, if you would. Same one we just had up.
Okay.
From looking at the Twitter account of Mr. Williams, do you know that he calls his fans slimes, bloods, thugs? Are you familiar with that?
Objection, Your Honor, speculation, intent, hearsay.
I'll stand questions.
All right. State's Exhibit number 36, if you take a peek at that.
I have it.
And we discussed this one previously. Do you remember that?
I do.
All right. And this is a part of a song called Band Lil Wayne released. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And he released that in approximately 2009?
I don't recall what year it was released.
Okay. I just want you to take a peek at Mr. Williams' exhibit number 44 when you get a chance.
I have it.
And do you recognize it being the same Twitter account as the tweet in State's Exhibit number 36?
I do.
36W. And is it on the same day, February 5, 2013?
Yes, sir.
And do you have any reason to believe that they're not the tweets that appear on this social media account on February 5, 2013?
I do not.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 44, dated today.
Your Honor, I believe 44 has already been admitted.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I apologize. All right. You were right. And just for clarity, on 44, if we could just show it since it's already been admitted. And these are the other songs or lyrics of songs from the artist known as Lil Wayne. Fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And we did discuss that previously, correct?
We did.
Okay, we're going to move on to State's Exhibit number 37. Remember testifying about this?
I do.
And I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams' exhibit number 69 when you get a chance.
I have it.
And are the items on Mr. Williams' number 69 the same Twitter account that is memorialized as State's Exhibit number 37W?
Yes, it is.
Same date? December 13, 2013?
Yes, it is.
And do you have any reason to believe that that is not true and accurate from the Twitter account?
I do not.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams' number 69 on today's date.
All right, any objection to defendant Williams 69?
Yes, Your Honor, no objections.
Defendant Williams 69, submitted over objection.
Detective, if we look at Mr. Williams' number 69 and start at the bottom and go up, if that's okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And on the very bottom of what's now memorialized as Mr. Williams' number 69 dated today, that is the same date of December 13, 2013 as State's Exhibit 37W. Fair?
It is.
All right. And these are all going to be December 13, 2013, right?
Yes.
All right. And that is, it says features with 2 question marks, contact bookyoungthug@gmail.com, and it gives a phone number. Fair to say?
Yes.
And do you have any reason to believe that does not have to do with booking entertainer Young Thug?
I do not.
The one above it, same date as you already recognized, and it reads, we need to get hashtag stoner on at Billboard, ! Need my fans to keep requesting hashtag stoner on the radio. Okay, I want to ask you questions about that.
Okay.
You recognize hashtag stoner and what that stands for in this time of December 13, 2013?
I do.
Tell the jurors.
He released a song called Stoner around this time.
And were you aware that reached number 47 on the Billboard charts, that song? I think it's relevant. All right. Are you aware that the song made it onto the Billboard 100?
I am.
All right. And in this one, that's exactly what the tweet seems to say, that the song has to get onto the Billboard and asking for fans to help that, right?
Objective speculation. You can read what it says.
All right. The next one, which is right above it, do you see what that says?
Yes, sir.
And can you read that for the jurors? And if not, I can read it.
It says hashtag high tunes on the Winnie.
And is that also concerning music? If you know, and if you don't know, just...
I don't know, but I have no reason to dispute that it does.
All right. And the next one, which is above it. And I'll just read that. How the and F and CK, you gone survive on a pound YSL runway to ! Hashtag how full, 2 question marks, right?
Yes.
Okay. And YSL runway, you know what that means?
No, not necessarily.
All right, deals with music. If you don't know, that's fine.
Objection is speculation, say you didn't know.
All right, the one above it, and that's the one that you targeted with, and when I say target, I don't mean that, disrespectfully. That's what's in State's Exhibit 37, right?
Yeah, as long as we're clear that I didn't target anything, it is what's in the State's Exhibit 37.
Okay, and that's again, hashtag YSL Young Slime Life, .. hashtag slap.
Correct.
Okay, go up one more. And this should be the very top of that page of Mr. Williams, number 69. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And this is replying to DJ_fly_sky. You see that?
Yes.
And then it reads, everybody go tell at DJ_fly_guy to keep turning up on that thugger, or THT, thugger on his, and then at Radio Invasion radio station, exclamation point, hashtag slat, hashtag YSL, right?
Yes.
Deals with music?
Appears to, yes.
All right.
Along with the gang reference at the end.
Okay, and the gang reference at the end is hashtag YSL.
Hashtag slat, hashtag YSL.
That's your interpretation.
I believe that's exactly what it says it means.
Okay. Let's do 38W, which you don't mind.
I have it.
Okay, and this one is January 23rd, 2014. Free my slimes, hashtag DK and hashtag Mondo. All my slimes retreat, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I may have asked you something similar, but are you aware that by this time, Mr. Williams has fans all over the world following him?
Objection, Your Honor, about
Fascinating question.
How many followers did Mr. Williams have at this time on this one Twitter account, if you know?
I don't know.
All right, let's go to 39W. And this is Mr. Williams' Twitter account, March 24, 2015, at Haiti Slug, he is slime with a emoji. You see that green emoji, Snake?
I do.
Okay. I'd like you... May I approach the court reporter for a second to get an exhibit? Is that okay? May I approach the witness?
Yes, you may approach you, sir.
Sure.
I'm showing you what has been marked as Mr. Williams number 19. Just take a peek at it. Tell me if you've ever seen that before or know about that event.
objection around a compound. You guys have ever seen that before?
I'll stand question.
Have you ever seen that before?
No, I have not.
Okay. Do you know about that event?
I do not.
Okay. Do you know in State's Exhibit 39 where this picture is taken?
I do not.
Do you know in number 39 whether this is on a musical tour when it was taken?
I do not.
What do you know about that picture when it was taken?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What do you know about this picture, if at all, for reference of where it was taken, what was going on?
I think those are two different questions. I don't know where it was taken, nor what was going on other than what's pictured here.
Okay. All right. Let's go to State's Exhibit number 40. Do you remember this?
I do.
Okay. And this is October 19, 2017.
Yes, sir.
And it says, I'll slime my mama out with the same green emoji snake. Is that fair to say?
It is.
All right. I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams number 70. And do you recognize that as being the same Twitter account as Mr. Williams' Twitter account in State's Exhibit number 40W?
I do.
And is it the same date, which it would be on State's Exhibit 40W, October 19, 2017?
Yes.
And is the tweet in State's Exhibit number 40 contained along with 3 additional tweets in order, as far as you can tell?
There are 4 additional on this page that I have. Unless I'm miscounting something.
No, you were correct. You're correct. I apologize. Do you see that?
I do.
Okay. Do you have any reason to believe they're not true and correct and accurate?
I do not.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 70 dated today.
All right, any objection to the defendant Williams 70?
Same objection, Your Honor.
So I'm going to admit the vote of state's objection. I'm going to 70 in the policies use.
And if we could start on the left-hand side of that, and I thank you so much for telling me there were 5 additional. You see that the same date on the very top, October 17, 2017, as the same date in State's Exhibit number 40W as in Mr. Williams number 70?
Yes, sir. I'm not trying to be funny. I think it's October 19th, 2017.
I apologize, and thank you. And it says 12 tonight. You see that?
I do.
And this, you know, or do you know, is it's a mixtape called Super Slimy that Mr. Williams made with the rapper Future. Are you aware of that?
I am.
Okay. And then if we go to the right-hand side of Mr. Williams number 70, and we can just start at the bottom, if that's okay. That's the most bottom, that's the tweet that we discussed, and you helped us on State's Exhibit number 40W. Fair to say?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then right above it, same date, it was tweeted RIP, which I'm going to say rest in peace, but whatever it says RIP Troop, Super Slimy, Instagram.com. You see all that?
I do.
Okay. And Super Slimy is the name of the mixtape, fair to say?
Yes.
All right. The next one up on the same date, October 19th, 2017, Midnight Super Slimy, and it goes to Instagram as well, right?
Yes.
The next one, which is at the top, same date, October 19th, 2017, you see that?
I do.
I'm Super Slimy, I'm not going to say, but F_CK around and slime out Future with 3 green snake emojis. You see that?
I do.
And Future, you know, to be the rapper who collaborated on this mixtape, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever go to, or do you know, that these Instagram postings are songs from this mixtape?
I didn't follow these links, but I have no reason to dispute that they are.
Okay. Let's go to State's Exhibit number 41W.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mr. Steele. To the extent that you're asking for context of these, I do have additional context that may be helpful as far as these particular tweets.
Okay.
So the tweet on the left-hand side, so we pull that back up. So this particular image was of note to myself and other gang investigators, particularly during this time period.
Does that have anything else?
I believe that's all.
Okay. Okay. And that was a release album or a mixtape, right? That's the cover.
Yes, sir.
Okay. State's Exhibit number 41W.
I have it.
And you recognize it, the November 2, 2017 is not long after the Mr. Williams number 70 we just discussed, October 19, 2017. Fair to say?
It is.
And it says, love me a B-I blank C-H, that gang bang. You got that?
Yes,
And then it says hashtag super slimy,
it does.
and that's the name of the mixtape that we just talked about.
That's correct.
And then M-effer, right?
Right.
And then you realize that love me B-I blank C-H, that gang bang is a lyric for a song?
I don't know that, but I have no reason to dispute it.
I'd like you to look at Mr. Williams number 71 dated today.
I have it.
Is that from the same Twitter account that we've been discussing?
Yes, sir.
And do you see it gives tweets on November 1, November 2, and then a November 1 and November 2, I believe. If I'm wrong, yes, I think I'm right.
I believe you're correct.
Okay. And there are 4, maybe 5, I don't know how you count that, but maybe 5 tweets on this page. Is that fair to say?
I'm counting 4.
Okay. And do you have any reason to believe that these are not the tweets around the tweet that we just discussed in State's Exhibit number 41W?
I do not.
And do they appear to be accurate and complete?
To the extent that I would know that, yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams, number 71.
Please approach.
so Shay, waning for the day. Can I get you to step back in your headquarters to your probation room for just a second, and then I'll call you back out, okay? I'm still gonna hold to what I told you earlier, okay? All right, thank you. But don't get too comfortable in there, all right? All right. Okay, all rise. Hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Detective, we'll call you in just a minute, okay?
Dylan, can you call Cleveland, have him come over and take a look at
Okay, since I've had to excuse our jury's left us, and so is Detective Belknap. I'm considering at this point in time State's Exhibit 41 whiskey, which is contained within State's, I should say, Defendant Williams 71. You know, when I was at the bench trying to have a conversation with my tech guide, it appears that from the courts looking at this particular Defendant Williams 71, the State's 41 references a tweet on the 2nd of November. And I was asking Mr. Steele about the 3 tweets, and the card at the bottom is being produced on November the 1st. So I didn't complete that conversation. So, Mr. Steele, if you want to go ahead and do so at this time.
Your Honor, the date is of State's Exhibit 41W is November 2, 2017. The tweets before that on November 1, 2017, all have the corresponding section for Super Slimy, which is the mixtape, and that the state pulled out the hashtag Super Slimy MFER, and above it, love me a BI blank, CH that gangbang. And if you put it in context, what Mr. Williams or whomever is tweeting is promoting the Super Slimy mixtape. That every one of these tweets have the hashtag Super Slimy. And then at the bottom one, it is referencing the upcoming event or concert at Complex Con. That's why I believe that they put it in context. The state put something out of context. They put in the pound Super Slimy, which they defined as a person who deceives someone else and can't be trusted. And this puts in perspective that Mr. Williams is, or whomever is doing this Twitter account, is promoting the album with Future. The mixtape with Future.
I'll ask the state to respond, because the original tweet from 41 Whiskey that's up here says, you know, love me a B, that gangbang. So what did the other 3, what did the state put that in for? Purpose of?
Your Honor, while this exhibit was admitted, Your Honor, this first and foremost, this exhibit was never published to the jury. We actually did not publish it to the jury. We did admit it as a part of a PEC, but it wasn't published. This.
Okay, where does it go? What are you telling me it goes to, though? So I can decide whether or not I need to admit the rest of it.
it goes to gangbanging. So that's why we initially had the tweet. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. I'm going to finish.
The tweets on November 1st, the 3 separate tweets on November 1st, Your Honor, are separate and distinct statements. And the rule of completeness does not apply to separate and distinct statements. And that's in Wilkie v. State, which is 368 Georgia at 238. These 3 tweets do not complete the thoughts of the love me a bitch that gangbang.
Okay. Are you saying that you introduced that particular tweet to prove some other issue? Or there's been some testimony about the way that one can get into a gang, sexed in? I'm asking, what does it refer to? How's it going to help me as a gatekeeper and then the jury?
That's why we didn't publish it.
I get it.
Right.
But it's an adult forum, okay? So I understand that, but tell me why you introduced it to begin with, because that'll help me determine whether or not the other 3 tweets have any context.
Your Honor, the state's initial reason for bringing in this tweet is to talk specifically about the fact that about the gang. And whether or not he loves a girl who gangbangs, knowledge of a gang or knowledge of the gang. So that is the initial reason for that particular tweet. If there was a response tweet to this, if he reposted this and said, psych, no, I don't, then that would come in. Not these other 3 tweets just because it says hashtag super slimy. That does not put this tweet into context. Only if he would have responded to that tweet on November 2nd, 2017, would that be in context. The 3 from the other 3 days do not put this tweet in context. Additionally, Your Honor, if he wants to talk about super slimy, the fifth number 70 talks about super slimy, which is already in. If he wants to say that this tweet was about the album, then he already has all of the tweets on defense exhibit number 70 that talks about being slimy. But the 3 separate tweets on November 1st, one being a concert, it looks like maybe he was going to a concert or maybe he was performing in a concert, has nothing to do, does not clarify, put in context the tweet from November 2nd, 2017. If there was a response to this, then that would be different. But 3 tweets from the day before puts nothing in context about what he says on November 2nd.
All right, sir.
Or if he said, love me a bitch that gangbang, meet me at the concert, and we didn't put that part of the tweet in there, then that would be completing that thought. But those 3 tweets have nothing to do with the tweet as posted on November 2nd.
Mr. Steele, before I respond, go ahead.
Your Honor, there is no sexing into a gang that this detective testified to with YSL.
No, he testified that about how one gets into a gang initiated. There's one of several ways.
But that's
so. I was trying to get why this particular statement was introduced by the state so that I could judge whether or not it needs to be completed by something. But
it says hashtag super slimy.
Okay, but
all the other tweets around this say hashtag super slimy.
But just because it has that hashtag, that doesn't give context.
It does when it's a mixtape.
But it doesn't say it's a mixtape. It just says it's gangbanging, whatever. So I'm going to agree with the state on this one. The other 3 tweets that are listed on defense exhibit number 71 to include the play card, I'm not going to admit those for that reason.
In Mr. Williams, number 70, it was established that super slimy is the mixtape.
Yeah, but that doesn't give context to the tweet the state's trying to respond to, or asking you to respond to, so I'm still not going to allow it in. Anything further?
No, sir.
Okay, let's bring our jury back in, please, and we're going to go about another 10 minutes, and then we'll stop for the day. All right. Just a second. Give it to me, just on the cartridge in your computer. Chris. Can we get one of our deputy sheriffs, please? Deputy Ham, can you summon our jurors for us, please?
Thank you, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue. Mr. Steele, go right ahead, sir.
Okay. Based upon the court's ruling, we will move on to State's Exhibit number 42.
All right, sir.
For 42W. Do you remember this, detective, this tweet that is in evidence as State's Exhibit number 42W?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to go through it. This is May 12, 2018, fair to say?
Yes, sir.
And it says YSL Gang,
It does.
Jonesboro South Gang,
Yes.
Believeland Gang,
It does.
Rock Gang,
Yes.
Free Band Gang,
Yes.
21 Gang for life, ... no matter what, exclamation point. Fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And this is this tweet that you introduced, or helped introduce, that was given to you by the state, right?
That's correct.
All right. I want to focus first on the Free Band Gang. You see that one, second to the bottom of that tweet on State's Exhibit 42?
I do.
And you know that to be, what is Free Band?
I'm sorry.
What is Free Band?
What is Free Band?
Yes.
This is a record label.
Okay. Do you know who it belongs to?
I don't know who owns the label now.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. And I'd like to also go back to Mr. Williams' number 70, if that's okay, and put that on the screen. It's already in evidence. And we'll talk about the one on the left-hand side. I'm just waiting for the screen.
Sure.
And if you could blow up without distorting it, Mr. Kokomo. Now, Detective, to be fair to you, you stated that this is the cover, the mixed tape, but it drew your attention. Fair to say?
Yes.
And you see the green, it might be other colors, but basically green snake in that cover, mixtape cover.
I do.
And then you see the bird, right?
Yes.
And show the ladies and gentlemen jury, if you can, just the outline of the snake and the bird with the pointer, if you don't mind.
The outline of it.
Yeah, just point to the snake first, just go in order, and then show the outline or where the bird is. Okay, now, that is, you already testified you were knowledgeable that Super Slimy mixtape is Jeffery Williams' work, Future's work. I'm not telling the other people, but those two artists work together to produce that album or that mixtape. Fair to say?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Now, tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury about Future's symbol for his free band record label.
Objection relevant to human fact evidence.
I stand the objection.
Did you know when you testified this bird, did you know that Future's record label free band symbol is the eagle?
I have seen their logo, and it is not this.
I'm going to show you some photographs, okay?
Sure.
Okay, let's show them to the state first. He might just say. And you have to show the state.
That's fine. I'm just giving you I hear the Wi-Fi signal on the screen. It should be working now. Plus, it was also brought out quickly. Yeah. Yeah, read mine all night. I'll see if this fixes it, okay? We shouldn't be here much longer. Okay. Look at what I will mark as Mr. Williams dated today, number 77.
Yeah, I did.
And is that true and accurate depiction of what you believe is Free Band's logo?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 77 dated today.
7 what? I'm sorry?
77. It is not, it's new, Your Honor.
It's not what?
It's not in the package.
Can I see it?
Yeah, of course.
State, have you seen it?
Yes, they just showed it to us, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, thank you. All right. Any objection to Defendant Williams 77?
Not from state, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant Williams 77 is admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Okay, on the screen in front of the jurors, you recognize that as Future's record label, fair to say?
Yes.
And that's Free Bands, similar to in State's Exhibit number 42W, Free Bands Gang, right?
Correct.
And in the center of that, I'm calling it an emblem, but looks like a depiction of an eagle to me. If that's wrong, just correct me.
Yes, it does.
Okay. And it has the stars at the top, 5 stars. You see that?
It does.
And then in the center as well, right?
Yes.
Now, when you make the statement that the album cover of Super Slimy is not the eagle in Free Bands, tell the ladies and gentlemen jury who you spoke with about the artwork for that mixtape cover.
Well, I didn't speak with anybody about the artwork for the mixtape cover, and my statement was that this picture is not that picture.
And did you ever talk with anyone with the record label Free Bands to ask about whether their logo was depicted on the cover of Super Slimy mixtape?
I did not.
And when you state that the eagle is not represented whatsoever on the Super Slimy mixtape cover, besides your opinion, what document can you share with the jury to show that that artwork is not representative of Free Bands?
So what I have observed and what I believe the jury will also be seeing in the future is that it wasn't only this image. There's the response images from the rival gang where they would post pictures of an eagle with a snake in its claws. So we saw this back and forth of the same imagery. And in this case, the snake is crawling through the skull of a dead bird, which is not indicative of the same, what we're seeing here in the logo for Free Bands.
You agree that that's an eagle on the cover of Super Slimy with the snake?
I don't know that that's an eagle's skull or not compared to some other bird.
You just don't know, do you?
I wouldn't say that. It is clearly a dead bird's skull.
I'm asking you, do you know if it's an eagle?
I don't know if it's an eagle or a hawk or some other bird.
Is it hard to find out who did the artwork on Super Slimy mix tape?
I didn't define hard.
I'm asking you.
I don't understand the question.
Well, okay. Let's look at Mr. Williams' number 7-2.
Okay, before we move on to that, Mr. Chair, I think it's after 5 at this point in time. I want to keep my promise to the jury so at this point in time, so I'm going to just ask you to respectfully put a stop and pause right there, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Detective, can I ask you to step outside for just 1 second, and then I'll go ahead and call you back in?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, just want to discuss a couple of things with you in terms of scheduling. You know that we're off tomorrow. There are a couple of you that have other things, and to include our counsel, so we're not going to be in session tomorrow. it has been brought to my attention, and unfortunately I'll say this in the context of, I said this before, life happens and you practice your vocation that you practice. So we cannot tell when people are going to transition or people will get sick or things are going to happen. So we have to kind of be flexible and kind of schedule and move around those particular things. So I understand that one of your members has had a transitional event happen, and so I'm going to ask for your assistance, and we're just going to take Monday. Okay, so you will be on pause for that reason on Monday, this coming Monday. That would be 12 February. Okay, we'll start back up on 13 February at 9 o'clock. That's what time you'll report for, all right? That's the reason why. I'm not going to hide anything, but it's just, this has just come up, so I'm going to make an executive decision and go ahead and do that, all right? Okay, any ministerial inquiry, ladies and gentlemen?
I have a question.
All right, I may have an answer, we'll see.
Is there any way that we can have the media not print or document like our schedule, like to put it out? It's becoming an issue with some of our jobs.
Okay. Our juror has asked if there's any way that we can not publish our schedule for reasons that I think several employers have been giving our jurors a difficult time. That's what the question was. Is that your question, ma'am? Okay. To that extent, ma'am, I try and kind of be as forthright as I can about our schedule, because I'm not trying to hide the ball from anybody. If you are having issues, tell me your individual employer. We can do that offline. I will place a phone call to them and indicate that you are still on service, because we were actually going to work on Monday. So, but because of this particular situation that's occurred, I'm going to not require you all to be here. So if any of your individuals are having these issues when we take administrative days, let me know and I'll call, because you're not subject to going into work. Okay? They can decide whether or not they want to give you remuneration for that particular day. That's certainly fair under the circumstances, because of maybe the policies that you all have. Individual employers may seek to do so. But if that becomes a problem, just let me know and I'll call, because you can't tell when it's going to happen. And if somebody's thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and just have you come in to work that day. Well, no, that's the reason why, because you all need to have these days to take care of your personal things and things at life events. So other life events. So even though it may be of one reason for another, other people may need to do other things on that day. So if you have a problem, let me know, okay? All right. Any other ministerial inquiry? No, I really wasn't. I was just trying to be kind to you. That was all. But, okay, what is it do you want to ask me?
Being kind as well, though we love seeing you and everyone in the courtroom, is there a way that they should check on our compensation as our civic duty?
Well, we had this little incident, and that's kind of, I can't tell you how, if and how that may affect your circumstance, but we are working on that. I will ask Miss Omana to check on that again. She's been very diligent and hawkish in terms of trying to get that situation resolved. But understand this, we are working to make sure that you get the handsome remuneration that you rightly are owed, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, well, I'll inquire about it, and if there's anything I can report back to you, I will go ahead and do that. But I think you all have received some remuneration already, is that correct?
Some.
Okay, some, not all. That's right. Okay. And but for this incident, we were going to roll out another system. So, but that's a story for another day. Okay.
Well, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, we can take care of that. Yes, yes, sir. Anybody else? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let me go through your customary admonitions to you. Please don't discuss the matter amongst yourselves. Please don't discuss this with your friends and neighbors. any third parties. Don't do any extra research. If somebody, of course, were to approach you about this particular circumstance and try to inquire about it or befriend you, trying to befriend you on social media or anything such as like, please let myself or Sergeant Ingram know immediately. Do not look at, view, or otherwise have it viewed in your presence any media or other third-party recounts of this particular trial or anything that people may postulate on it. As, of course, I told you before, and I'll continue to tell you that anything that's outside this courtroom cannot be considered by you as evidence. The only evidence you can be probably considered when I tell you to do so is the evidence presented in the four walls of this courtroom, okay? And then, is it okay for you all to discuss or recap now you've heard some, some testimony in this case? No. I know, and that's the right answer until such time as the entirety of the case has been presented to you, and then I instruct you on the deliberative process. All right. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to thank you again for your patience and the patience that you'll continue to give us. And is there any other inquiry at this point in time? Okay, what time are you supposed to report on Tuesday the 13th? What? Who said what? 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, 9 o'clock. All right, I got to see 8:45. All right, okay. 9 o'clock, be here, and then we'll start when I account for everybody, okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience. And unless you have anything else with me, then we'll see you on Tuesday morning, okay? Okay, all right. All rise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. All right, Investigator Belknap. Sir, I'm just gonna tell you, we will not be back in session where your testimony will be needed until Tuesday morning, the 13th of February. Does that pose you any problem?
None I'm aware of, sir.
Okay, so we will see you on Tuesday the 13th for 9 o'clock. And again, please don't discuss your testimony with anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so councils, for you all, tomorrow will be an administrative day. However, on Monday, the 12th of February, we will have a work day. Your clients will be here. At that point in time, I would like to take up any issues that we have outstanding in terms of there are a few motions in limine that I can take up on that day. Starting with I have several of Mr. Steele's motions. Motion number 38, 39, 40, 40, 40, 42, no, 41, 42, 43, and there's this motion for notes and recordings from Mr. Derek Wise, and a motion for production of visitation at the Fulton County Jail of Trontavia Stevens. So at a minimum, we could exhaust some of those on that day, and that's what my pleasure is for that day. Also, so first, will the state and the defendant, Mr. Steele, Mr. Steele, will you be ready to argue those motions?
Yes, sir.
State, will you be able to respond to those motions from Mr. Williams, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and then there's two other motions here that I have. That's the motion for the visitation records and the motion to redact Mr. Winfrey's testimony.
We will be able and ready to respond.
Okay, excellent.
Monday.
Okay, all right, so we'll take up those. We'll start, if you all could be here for 9 o'clock, we can go ahead and take up and exhaust as much of that as we can. Okay, I have two other matters I'd like to take up at this point in time. If you could, folks, have Mr. Uhelski, folks in the state, print out the final order for the motion for the limitation on recording, so I may sign and enter it. Because I don't have, my right-hand person, Mr. Kearns, is not feeling well today, so that's why he's not here. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. So I can enter it. And then the other thing is a motion that was just filed, Ms. D. Williams. I'm in receipt of your motion to withdraw at this point, and I'll need to set it for a hearing. My question of you is, will you need to subpoena, or will some of these, since it references payment again, I can give you some time to subpoena those particular individuals, because I think I would need to have that as part of my decision making in this case.
I'll subpoena Ms. Glasser.
Okay, all right. I tell you what then. Mr. Williams, I'll set it for Friday the 16th of February at 9 o'clock.
Your Honor.
That should give you enough time to serve a subpoena?
Correct.
Okay? All right. Okay, anything else ministerial nature for me?
Your Honor, just one additional matter. On Tuesday, the 13th, two of the severed co-defendants in this case have a bond hearing in front of Judge Dempsey at 9:30. You just want to let the court be aware, either some or one of us will handle that matter, but just to let you know that Judge Dempsey has scheduled that bond hearing for 9:30 on.
Is this in is this in the severed case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you just putting it on my radar so that one of you will be here, though?
Yes.
Because y'all have like 5,100 lawyers, so, okay, all right.
We
Just
all
to-
need that same support like the other side.
Okay, all right, well, okay, and I appreciate you telling me that, but no, that won't affect us, and, yeah, at least I hope not. Okay, all right. Okay, anything else, folks? Anybody? All right, so, Monday we'll cover, is there anything else for Monday we need to cover? Or you can think of at this point in time, councils?
No, and do you want Mr. Uhowski to bring the order tonight or to bring it,
If he could bring it now so I can sign it.
Okay.
So it can be entered.
all right. He's pressing it now.
Okay, all right. Okay, anything else in terms of anybody else, in terms of any inquiry or questions or comments? Any defense counsel?
Did I have one ministerial that I have to approach on?
Okay, all right. Anything else for the good order? All right, well, listen, folks, I'll see you then on Monday. Your clients will be here as well. We'll start up for 9 o'clock, and we'll take care of the business that the court's laid out thus far, okay? All right. All right, unless there's anything else, we're in recess. All right, thank you much. Yes.